Hey guys, and welcome back to another double NKH video where I am the proud new owner of a Ford Wrecker sitting behind me in these weeds. Bought this for $2,000 and I'm told it ran when parked. Got a standard transmission and I believe it's probably somewhere from like 87, 88 to I think this body style went to 91 if I'm not mistaken. So it should either have the 6.9 IDI or the 7.3 indirect injection engine. And boy, these weeds, this is just, I think this is that Japanese knotweed. It's unbelievable how fast it grows. So man, look at all this stuff piled in front of here. The idea today is to do a preliminary, maybe get it fired up, drive it out of here. If not, we'll go home and get the rollback. But yeah, before I really get you anything, I think, oh, I can already see the mosquitoes coming on out. Buying something like this is a real dice roll, guys. I mean, I'm kind of taking this guy's word and everything I've bought from him before. Oh, well, that was nice. Good way to clear it. Took one in the lip there. I don't know if that came across on camera, but you see, plenty of space. So, the cool thing about this truck is it's got a dual winch set up. Look at that. So these winches alone are worth money. Even if the engine's shot and it doesn't run. Looks like it's got a big hoarding pile in there. It's missing the steering wheel too, and it's got some tools sitting over there. So maybe they didn't have the key. F Super Duty XL. Not sure how long it's been sitting, but let's get this stuff cleared out of here and see what we're working with. Why did I get myself into this junk? I love it, that's why. Trailer wheel. We got that all cleared off, some more working space. Let's take a gander. Well, looks like original paint, and then there's that galvanized underneath they did, and the rust coming through. Let's check on the year. She does have a title for this, but they're still looking for it. 46810J, which is 1988, and that's awesome news because that means it has the 7.3 over the 6.9. I don't know a ton about these engines, but a brief Google search said that the 7.3 had major upgrades, like specifically in the head, better valves, all sorts of good stuff. So it's still gonna be a non-turbo clunker, but it's nice that it's got the 7.3. Boy, the rubber up here on the bumper's in real good shape. We got one flat tire sunk in a little bit, but that looks like it'll take air. This does have a wheel lift too, so a little bit of bed rust. Typical. I mean, come on, this thing's probably oh, okay, look at that. All the controls, all of them are moving. Well, that's a great sign, because if something's been sitting for a real long time, those are generally locked up. So here's a look at the dual winch. Boom, the lead. And where is the wheel lift? Oh yeah, it is. It's sunk down in the ground. Okay, so that'll make it fun for pulling out. And you can see the getting tangled up in this knotweed. See, this bed's got all sorts of goodies. Briefcase full of Lord knows what. And I like, oh, there's some mice nests in there. I like how it has all this storage. Quite a few tools. There's a little lube. But you got a much longer record bed over what's on the Yeah, this is two-wheel drive, right? I was gonna say my C30 two-wheel drive. Yeah, locking hubs. Yeah, that'd be great if it was four-wheel. Let's pop this hood, see how we're looking. Doors unlocked. Oh! Mouse, pee, and turds. Just can't get away from it. And mosquitoes. Ever since I disturbed these, the mosquitoes are really coming out in full force. Just, oh, man, that's really bad. All right, hold my breath here. Oh, we got 54,000 miles on the clock, and you know, somebody was working in there. Oh, that's got to get stripped out. Oh, sitting in the hot sun. Oh, that came up real easy though, huh? Where's the... There it is. Good action. All complete. We even have one battery. Well, all complete at first glance. So let's see what we're looking like. We have mouse message going on in the air cleaner. Let's just see how far they made it in. It's always a bummer when they go down in the intake or something if people are rocking no air filter. Yeah, I think they just made it in here, and actually there's a screen down there too covering the intake. Smart thinking, Ford. We got on the stick, black, up to level. This has got a bypass filter, or is that a factory filter location? I don't know. Oh, that's probably the fuel filter. Okay. Nothing that I can see, and lots of corrosion, but it might just be a gallon low. I think we'll try and pull this out and then go get the rollback. Might be a little heavy and big for the rollback, but make sure it's neutral. It's nice, got the 5-speed in it. See if she budges. I guess that tire caught a root or a piece of metal that I didn't clean up. We just gotta get her cocked a little bit and then we'll get up on the rollback. Well, we'll see about that, I don't know. I'm sure the wheel lift being down is dragging on the ground, and yes, it is. That's a big land anchor. Oh yeah, another Ford. This is a 92 and later with a probably the 5.8. Huh, not bad. There's some tennis. Stuff just buried all over around here, guys. So we could try come along in this up a little bit. Oh, of course. Everybody's gonna get all jostled in here now, but I got a light duty come along. You know, if it wasn't for the mosquitoes, I'd actually love working on this thing back here. It's all the shade cover, but these skeet are terrible. That'll do it. We're lined up. Good to pull out. probably should have measured this truck first, because now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if it's gonna fit on this 17-foot bed. Let's see if I gotta take measure. I'm not going very far, but let's take a measurement from, I guess, right at this rust hole. If we could get just the back of the wheel on, we'd be okay. Not worth breaking the rollback though. Let's see. This is exactly 17 foot. Wow, yeah, I don't know. That might be a little tight. Well, me being a dummy, I say let's give it a go. What's the worst that happens? We leave the truck here, no big deal. Just gotta get those back wheels on and hope this thing will tilt forward and be good. Oh, it doesn't like that. Bring the RPM a touch more up. No, it does not like that. Oh, sorry. Okay, we just blew a line. Hose right there. Not surprised. All right, that was our slide forward hose. So yeah, not gonna happen. Luckily, put that in gear, popped right off. I guess we'll come back with the trailer then. Probably a little bit much for the rollback. Let's see if this will slide forward. Yeah, it's probably gonna, but let's tilt down first. Okay, that one's not spraying. Oh, that's going in the face. There's oil all over the camera and me. Apologize if I missed clips there too. The camera kept shutting off. I don't know why. As you can see, these hoses were kind of on their way out anyway. They got chafed up, whoever replaced the hard lines. And so something that had to be addressed regardless. All right, luckily we had enough fluid to pull all the way forward. Fortunately, the older gentleman that owned this place, he was parked right near when that hose blew too, and his car got showered with hydraulic oil. He didn't seem to mind though. Not a good day so far. That's how it goes though. And back here with the trailer, we are 83.5 between the fenders. That was one of the reasons I didn't bring it before. I wasn't sure if this would be too wide, but that sits up higher than our fender is anyway. I also had the Mustang on this. I just unloaded that, the 67, but this will work. He just wanted to get some last minute items that he had left in when he last had this apart. Underneath, you can see that's where the mice were, underneath the blankets there. Darn power windows, you know. And at least he got the wing windows. I definitely gotta double line it. As you can see, we're dragging half the forest with us, and now since we've gotten up on the lift, yeah, it's starting to drag. Boy, I'm sure he's sick of tired of waiting on me by now. Good way to bend the trailer. There is a lot of flex. Man, this truck is way longer than I originally thought it was. trailer don't break. Not worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Just threw a few straps on there. Luckily not going terribly far, because if we were, whew, I don't know. Boy, I really hope that flexes right back, because I don't know how it comes across on camera, but there's a huge bow on that C channel right now. These boxes got to go big time, because if they weren't there, we could have pulled this forward. I am just abusing all sorts of equipment today. That's the rest of the way up, which you can see I should have spent the time to do that before and I wouldn't have gouged up the driveway. As far as the trailer being bent, I don't think so. Well, first things first, let's go ahead and fire this up. Drop the battery in and go, because I think that's going to be the easiest part. We got 0 volts on the battery. I mean, from what I've seen, these IDIs are pretty tough to kill. That broke off. I can't believe the battery hold down's in there. That's a good sign. When you see a battery hold down in place, that's a great sign. Put the battery over on the passenger side, shorter run to the starter. We're in neutral, let's hear a crank. Solenoid's clicking. Let's see if it's working. I'm breaking out the test light. If I would have just looked closer, you know, we got no power on here because somebody severed this. Well, if I reconnect, we got power now, and we should have crank. Now, a bad solenoid it looks like, and we can just bypass this by sliding our start wire right on the other side, because there's only one wire coming off of that, and that should be going to the starter. Let's see what that does. Yeah, there we are. Well, it's not seized up. We'll give it a quick crank and then we'll deal with the fuel. Okay, that sounds very healthy. Now for our fuel system, I like that the filter's right up top of here. We even have a drain. We have a mechanical pump mounted right on the block. I think we'll pop it off on the intake side, put a barbed MPT International. And let's just see if we crack this drain, what comes off on the bottom. Here we are. That's diesel, not water. Let's do the crackle test. No water on the bottom of that filter. If we were in the field, I'd probably fire it up with what's in the tank, but you know, might as well disconnect this for now since there could be water on the bottom. We don't want to pump that in. Now under a few pounds pressure there, we can open this valve, send fuel up. Got the inlet going over to a jug so we can see what comes out of the tank. Let's pop this off and bleed any air out of the filter too. I think it'll just be fuel since it didn't take a lot of gas. Oh no, that's a lot of air. Quite a bit. There we are. Okay. Wouldn't be a bad idea to replace the fuel filter first, but I called the parts store and they didn't have one in stock, so. Throttle linkage free. Oh, this should be our fuel solenoid. 12 volts Yep, click. Reliable components, guys. So shy of glow plugs, we are ready to fire. I think I'm gonna just give this a crank over till we see fuel coming out of the exhaust because it might need to work some of that air out. We shouldn't have to crack any injectors loose. Let's find out. No smoke out of the tailpipe yet. You can see all this off-road diesel coming out. Oh, instead of jumping right to the ether, let's send power to these glow plugs. And carry our glow plug voltage. Got this thick cable going over, and then this is for the solenoid. Yeah, considering this cable ends smoking a little bit, I'm gonna say those glow plugs are working. Majority anyway. And give that like a 5 seconds. There it is. My 5.9 Cummins does not need a grid heater or glow plugs. That thing will start in sub-freezing, no problem. These indirect injection engines, it's another story. Whoa, well, it runs anyway. That was no starting fluid either. Why'd you run away like that? I see an issue. Our fuel jug has emptied out. Where did all that go? Not on the ground. I'm sorry, complete brain fart, guys. We know where that fuel went. It went back to the tank, to the return. Oh, yeah, we got a return back there. Okay, no big deal. And look how much pumped out of the fuel tank. It's good stuff, but I don't know. That definitely looks like heating oil to me. It's thick. If we drive it, let's just make sure not to get pulled over with that red fuel, right? It still sounds like it wants to run away a little bit. Yeah. There it is. Okay, it just wanted to race off there. Well, we got some transmission bearing noise. Otherwise, running like a clock. Or is that the PTO maybe? Clutch works. Okay, so that's throw out bearing or the just input shaft. And look at the whole dash flexing when I push it. I'm just noticing we don't have the L arms either. Maybe they're sitting back over there. But what the heck? I mean, can't complain with how well it fired right off. The clutch pushed in for a minute here. Let's see if the PTO engages. Yep, we got PTO action. Oh, needs a seal. Well, we got a diesel leak too on one of those injectors. Shooting out right here. What a clapped out truck. Oh, I love it. Now it's trash night, so before it gets dark, I'm gonna clean the rest of this off. See what if there's anything good or if it's all junk. Got some good J hooks, little shorties. When he was cleaning his stuff out of there, he said, "Oh, leave this, a piece of angle iron." I was like, "No, I'll keep that. It's like 3/8 angle iron. Definitely use this for something." I'll bet you these are for the winch line, maybe. So like a red or an orange. And people can see it. I can see them coming in handy. Here's the fuel fill. PT Cruiser. High quality wheel chocks. Oh yeah, this is like as nice as they come. Look at that. That's really good quality. Ain't gonna get that at Harbor Freight, guys. You can get this vacuumed out too. His Haynes manual, Anybody remember using these all the time? It's like what I grew up with. It's 64.5 to 73 Mustang parts catalog. We got Dodge Spirit, Plymouth Acclaim. Coming out pretty good. This thing was just a junk pile. And continue vacuuming and figure it out. Oh, these darn nice. Yeah, I'm finding some good tools at least. Got this nice S-Wing framing hammer. Yeah, floor jack, air pump, bottle jack, funnels, all sorts of good stuff, guys. I had thought maybe I slashed the tire open, but bead just popped off. Well, we made some major progress last night. A little elbow grease, air in the tires, and we're looking like $1 million already. The interior, I got very lucky. It was pretty much just that one mouse nest in there, and then all this piece soaked on the vinyl, and I cleaned it all up, and no stinks in here anymore. Like, I vacuumed it, and luckily they didn't make it up onto the headliner. I even scoped this with the camera. I mean, this seat's like in really nice shape. The steering wheel had like 1/4 inch of sludge on it, but got that mounted back up. Drilled out the lock the rest of the way so we could turn it with a screwdriver. Got our tools and chains all organized in here, cleaned out. Biggest issue I found was the transmission ZF5 was completely empty. You can see it actually has a ATF drip right there, but this took just about 4 quarts to bring it up to level, and from what I read online, that is the capacity. Hasn't been leaking since though, like major drips anyway. So maybe we got lucky and that quieted it down, or more than likely this trans is shot, and that's what all that noise is we hear. But as you guys can see, you know, the frame on this is it's rusty, but like it's not rotted. Well, that's just a gander how we're looking. Let's fire it up, see if that noise get quieter. Okay, the trans has gotten quieter. Oh, maybe not. I was just leaning on the clutch a little bit. We got some good news. I think that is just the PTO gear, because look, now I put the PTO on, it's much quieter. No, it must be the freewheel gear in there. It's bearing going bad, dry, or clearance issue. I'm not sure. Working a little better now, and it's cool with this wheel lift. You can tilt up and down or slide in and out, and then overall up and down too. You got 3 ways, which is nice. See if the rear brakes are locked up. No, those spin, just the fronts we got to worry about. Oh, yeah, that one's tight. This boom seal is completely blown out, and then we have a blown hose for that too. We'll let that the rest of the way down. Both winches are operational too. They sound very healthy. I didn't check the gear oil level in them yet. I did shoot these with a bunch of grease last night. Yep, they unlock too. I'd say let's get this cleaned up and go see if the guy we got it from has the rest of the pieces for the wheel lift, because those are not cheap. I was just looking them up. Whoo! And who knows, maybe we'll get lucky and the brakes loosen up on the test drive. Oh yeah. I think this would do good with some shine juice or similar on there. Let's try to get the windows operating. I am so happy that it smells good in here now. Maybe we'll get lucky and it's just a fuse. Oh, you see they were under here too. Kind of just made it in everywhere. Luckily the mice did not make it in the seats from what I can tell. Oh, I found a couple dead circuits and one blown fuse, this 30 amp, which is the horn/cigar lighter. You gotta love how they have the diagrams on the cover on older vehicles. So that would make sense because somebody had the steering wheel off, so they probably didn't pull the fuse and blow it. And it just popped immediately. So we got a short circuit. Power windows have this circuit breaker. We're not even getting power to this circuit breaker. Let's try sending power. Well, that's it. Passenger side's not going, but I do see voltage dropping down, so that means probably just the motor needs a little whack with the hammer. Question is, why is that not getting power? Guess it could have a bad fusible link up here or something else going on. Speaking of the hammer treatment, let's give a little shock therapy. Solenoid, since that was clicking before, but not going. Yeah, since now we got a key. Yeah! Sweet. Guess I'll just jump power to the window circuit for now. I just tapped off that power feed to this dead power feed. And so it's still fuse protected. And look at that. I gotta admit, that's the one nice thing about working on old junk and not, say, a customer's car. You would never do that. This one doesn't want to work for now. It's test drive time. Just noticed on the sides, it's got license number, which has been scraped off, and then Class A, gross vehicle weight, 14,500 pounds. Much better turning radius than the C30. Like it so far. 7.3 feels really healthy. So far so good. Nice and quiet. So it's got a flow master under there. Let's see if we can go find the missing pieces. Doesn't look like he's here, but maybe in this mess of stuff, when we pull it out, it's just sitting there. We could have drove this out of that spot, but yeah, it's better to be safe, you know, safe fish. Let's see here. Do we have L-arms or any other pieces for the wheel lift? I'm not seeing them, so I'll have to give him a ring. I guess let's go fix the PTO noise and loosen up the brakes. This is this truck's old stomping grounds. There's another wrecker that needs saving. Not quite. Bob's Towing. So he used to run every one of these trucks just into the ground, including this one. Belvedere. You know what I completely forgot about? This is our diesel leak on one of the injectors. Well, I tell you, the ZF5 in this does shift really nicely. Better than the Muncie SM465 in the C30 wrecker. Let's get her up to overdrive here. Barely getting there. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like just the return on the injector, only the one. Probably just a couple O-rings in there. Really, all these return hoses should be replaced too, but that's not what's leaking right now. be lucky if this hose comes off. Oh, can't believe that. Oh, I don't like that they used plastic, but it did hold up. And there's just a couple O-rings here. So I'll see what we got in the drawer, and that'll be fixed. Yeah, those things were brittle. I'm sure somebody sells a whole kit of these O-rings with hose to replace them all. But, see, like a little plastic is fine on vehicles, but some of the modern stuff is just plastic everything. And when it gets old and breaks, hopefully just something in the standard O-rings. So none of these were quite the right fit. Then we got the miscellaneous O-rings, usually a winner in there, especially if you're only looking for one. But then these Viton ones, these are good for chemicals and oil and stuff, very chemical resistant. Those will work. Yeah, it's a good fit. Oh yeah, perfect. No more leaking. That's another nice thing about this truck is that it's got rear disc brakes instead of drum. Yeah, I think the pistons are moving. And since both pistons pushed in, I can hand rotate this now. Let me start it up, pump them, and then see if it re-releases. No. Ooh. I think I'll let this cool down, pop it apart later, because Jen wants to go take the boat out.
Our beloved boat that's been neglected for a whole season.
Yeah, the Raven 195, and it's gonna need some work. Okay. Yeah, pad separation and crusty pistons. You can tell these things got scorching hot at one point. Separated from each other, the friction material. I mean, and age, but you can tell how hot that got. Actually, these pistons don't look too bad. When you see that, you know it's fixed. If you push one, the other comes out, and vice versa. Good enough. Now, fortunately, in the mess of stuff I found in the truck, there was some pads. Look at that. I just threw them in the scrap pedal for now, but those will work. That should be good. Let's do the press and release test. All good. Now I just gotta do the same thing on the fronts. Well, now that we got some releasing brakes, let's go take the Gooseman for a little spin, fill up the diesel. What do you think, Gus? Sniff inspections? Better air outside, huh? Come on, it doesn't sting in here now. It's good, we cleaned it. You like this rig? Do you approve? Still sniffing, still debating if this is something he likes or not. So we do have a fuel selector on the front tank showing dead empty. I'm gonna be risky here and just press rear tank. See what happens. Okay, fuel went up. For all we know, that could be water though. I guess I'll let it run on that tank for a minute, see what it does. And if it's pumping water or air in there, we'll find out pretty quick. Let's see if that budges the gauge at all on the left tank. Oh, we're actually full on the left. I only took 2.9 gallons. It sounds like that one might be full too. Okay, no, this one is not full. I'm gonna stop it at 50 bucks. 12 gallons in there. That'll give us a good idea if it's working or not. Let's see if we go to the rear tank now. Yeah, there it is. Driving back on the right tank. Taking the ride.
It's nice. Where are we taking it?
Taking it on power tour.
You're right.
Alright, well, break time on this because Jen wants to pull out the old Raven 195 boat. Ah, yes, the Raven 195. Just as I remember her. Thank you to my neighbor for storing it. We'll get this worked on tomorrow and out. But before it gets dark, let's see if all the lights work on this. Let's see what we got. 4 to 5 markers. No headlights. We got markers up front. A couple side markers on. 1 reverse light. Tail light and tail light. No. Oh, there goes the other one. Came on. Nope. What was that? There we go. Flashers. Non-LED though, I don't think. Yeah, and now the fronts are on too. Just needs a little whack. For the headlights, I wonder if it's just this sticky switch for the high beams. Okay. Yep, we got lights now. All right, next afternoon, we got the Raven turnkey ready for the water. Jen's gonna finish cleaning up some, and I'm gonna move back over to the Super Duty. Let's try to figure out what's going on with this trans noise. I was looking it up, and these are apparently notorious for a dual mass flywheel making noise. Well, this has a solid mass flywheel in it, so that's not the issue. The fact that it changes and almost goes away when I turn the PTO on makes me think that it's just improper clearance in the gears or a worn out bearing for the PTO gears. So I think we're gonna drain it, take that off. Yeah, this looks like coming out. Hopefully no chunkies, right? Oh yeah, nice red and clean. Just like how we put it in. So taking a glance inside, you're looking at the countershaft drive gear. This is what the PTO gear mates to. You can see it's a little chipped up from being engaged over the years. And it's directly mated to the input shaft, so it's spinning at all times unless you push the clutch in. And looking at the PTO side, we can see this is not going to be our issue because it is fully disengaged. There's like a little shift fork that goes on here to pull it over this way to engage it. I thought maybe there was like an idler gear in here or something, but there's not. So this is not our noise. So why does the noise go away when we engage? I think that's just because it puts a little load on here and takes away the rattling bearing or gear, whatever's rattling. So there you have it. Not PTO related. Sounds like an input shaft bearing or such. Well, I cut yesterday's work short to go out, enjoy the river on the Raven with Jen. And I made up my mind that I'm gonna pass this one on. So I put it up for $2,800, which I think is a very fair price, even though it needs a few repairs. And I'm just better off keeping the C30 We've got 6 brand new tires already. That thing's been pretty looked over and good to go. I do like a lot about this, like the longer wheelbase, the rear disc brakes, the thicker F450 frame, 10 lug wheels, the 5-speed with overdrive shifts so nicely compared to the SM, which I was saying earlier, the 7.3, first time driving one of these, but really like that engine. And I'm gonna be on the lookout for a cleaner one of these, but sometimes it's just take a little bit of profit on each one, and then put that toward ultimately buying a nicer vehicle is what's in my head. It was still fun to drag it out of the junkyard there and get her road worthy again and pass it on to a new buyer. So I got a guy coming today who I think is very interested and going to be taking it. Another determining factor was that I did end up talking to the guy, and he doesn't have any other attachments. You could make those, but not cheap if you buy them. And another reason is we're getting ready for a little clapper camper trip, so I gotta get that going today. I don't know if you guys remember this from previous videos, but I got the utility bed on the Ram now, so this will fit on there good. It will probably be a little heavy since the utility bed is heavy too, but let's get going on that so we can get going on our trip. Let's not forget to bring our treasure finds that we found in this truck. Bringing me in wheel chocks and tools. Not giving that away. Now at $2,800, some of you guys are probably thinking that's way too cheap for what this is. I just want a quick sale, be done with it. So it's BYOB, bring your own battery, bring your own fuel. I'm actually gonna let that right side tank pump out, and I know that's kind of cheap. I'll leave the heating oil tank in it. But let's see. It's just got a slight red tint. Let's see if I flick the switch right now, how quick that turns over. This is just coming off the fuel pressure switch on the top of the filter, so it's the filtered fuel. Let's see if this turns dark red. And 30 seconds later, yep, there's all that off-road diesel, the heating oil. Flicker back. I just want to get my $50 of diesel since my Ram's actually empty right now. Actually, I should just pull it right up and dumped her straight in the tank, but even the dual tanks were working. What a good truck. Well, a little while later, we are at 3/4 tank there, and I let her run too long because it just stalled out. So let's see how long it needs to crank on the left fuel tank. I mean, the bleed is naturally open up there, so that shouldn't take too long. Tested a 7.3 and how reliable it is. For running out of fuel. How about that? You know, modern diesels, you run them out, you can, whoop, I was gonna say you can run into big problems. There it is. I mean, remember, I still have the top of the filter completely wide open right now too, so I had it going with dueling lines out. All right, cool. Got all my diesel back for my truck. A little while later, wrecker sale went through. Got a deposit, $2,500. So I made $500 profit. Woo! Except now, you know, this truck's broken. Of course, I broke the come along too, but I just welded some straight metal on the side of that. That handle will never bend again. And I think I'm gonna hold off on the repairs of this truck because I'm realizing the 17-foot bed just doesn't do it for me. This truck is not heavy duty enough. So I think I'm gonna put a feeler ad up on this, but unfortunately, I'm into it for $6,800 now. I got new front tires, LED lights on the bed, full 2.5-inch exhaust with an electronic 3-inch cutout going to your chrome 3-inch stack, new shoes, wheel cylinders, parking brake cables in the back, front leaf spring bushings, shackles, mile marker, locking hubs. But of course it needs a lot more, so I don't know what's worth. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. For now, I'll just leave it with the leaking hose because if I'm gonna replace this, it's not just one hose. I mean, whoever put these super long slinky hoses on, it really should go back to the factory way it was with the steel lines, but they just kind of left those in place and zip tied some like 50-foot hoses that get caught up with each other as it goes back and forth. It needs to be done right, which is time consuming and more money. Well, she can just rest over at the storage yard along with some other vehicles like the C30 Wrecker. And while this one is so much lighter duty than the Super Duty, especially the Wrecker body on it. I mean, look at his weeny little cylinder. It's also nice because it's shorter and more practical for lighter duty stuff. But if you're hauling something heavy, I mean, yeah, this is not gonna get it done. This also needs more work too, but it has new brakes, tires, turnkey, ready to go. Here comes my ride back home. You driving, Goose? Yes.
Poop there. Don't step on it.
Oh, you got poop on the floor?
Poop.
A reliable RAV4. Oh, it does smell like poop in here. Huh, boy? Where are we going? The low life, living that low life. Okay, final drive in this truck. We were just over at the Auto Tags place. Got the new owner in the RAV4 there. It did the transfer, but it turns out the old owner's daughter, this truck was kind of sentimental to her. So she just wanted to say goodbye to it. Hey, Jose, our proud new owner, Jose, right here. Delivered to you with no battery, just like I said. Hey, good luck with the truck, man. All right, I'll count that out now. And this is Bobby.
Hi.
So you said you remember driving in this truck as a little girl, or?
Little girl, yeah. I ran with my grandpa from the time I was 3 until I was 27.
Wow.
And this truck, I haven't seen this truck since I was 10. I can't believe you got to run it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
she was a little shocked to see it just out cruising.
Yeah, my mom just told me about this today. I had no idea.
She was like, wait, I'll buy it.
Yeah, put it back.
Yeah, so you saw this.
Looks like it's going to a good home.
Yeah, he's gonna put it to work, and I guess you saw this thing get a lot of work done over the years too.
Yeah.
Cool.
We used to run all the apartment complexes in Lower Buxton.
Okay.
He'd get out and give me a little taser, and he'd say, all right, if anybody comes near the truck, you just hit him with this. And I'd go in the office. I was like 6 years old in the truck with a taser.
Wow.
Yeah, he was crazy. I want to get in the driver's seat.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, she's gonna get one last picture in it while they're putting the battery. Here's one. Okay, got it.
Oh, man, yeah, he used to taser right out of there.
Yeah, well, there was a mouse nest in there.
If anybody comes near you, just hit him with this.
All right, great meeting you, Bobby. All right, any other questions? Diesel, yeah, so that tank is full on the left. This one's just about empty, but they both work. So does the fuel selector too, so.
Right now I got enough to hit the garage in the
Oh yeah, it's got a full tank on the left. He plans to drive it an hour and 20 minutes back to Reading, so you know, maybe he'll be fixing it on the way, but he's a handy guy. There it goes, guys. Off to go get some more work done and get a little bit more fixed up. And with that out of the way, it's now vacation time. So let's get the clapper loaded up. Gus, I guess we'll let you come. Turbo, you gotta stay home. No, is that a Turbo or is that raccoon under there? What are you doing? You found a little shady spot? Go get that kid. Go get him, boy. Go get him. Gus. We got the power jacks. You just hit a button. Go. Oh, that's maxed out. I don't know if that's something that rolls or not. Yes, it is. It's round. It's nice we don't got to take the tailgate off anymore. Just drop that down.
could not get any tighter of a fit.
Yes, perfect.
That was amazing. You did that in one take.
It's actually easier with this bed than the original bed because it's just you get one slot. That's it. You can't really be off, and if you are a little bit, it'll shift over. But if you're off too much, it'll put like too much load on these and rip them off. We got some mud daubers. Otherwise, this thing held up really good compared to storing it outside. It looks brand new.
Yeah.
And we haven't used it in a while, so.
We got a lot more storage this year too.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice having all the tools and whatnot. It's up a little bit higher, so this bed, the surface in there is a little higher because I'm noticing probably about 6 inches really, which is not bad. It's actually usable space.
What do you think about the color scheme now?
It's
a little mismatching.
a little bit. But we're gonna get finished tying this down, packed up, hit the road. We're gonna be at Knoebels this Saturday, Sunday. So if you see us over there, Knoebels Amusement Park / campground, by the way.
It's adorable. Pennsylvania, it's like old school.
Yeah, really awesome place. If you haven't been, definitely check it out. If you see us out on the road, feel free to wave, say hi, stop, whatever. And then we're planning on checking out Power Tour Wednesday and Thursday, even though they say no campers, no RVs. We're just going to, spectate, check it out. So in Louisville, Kentucky, and Hebron, Ohio.
Hopefully see you there.
And lastly in this video, I just wanted to show you guys the progress on the Mustang. So Peterson Restoration, he did a fabulous job with the sheet metal. I'll get this up in the air to show you. And did his video on it. I'll plug a link to that down below. But we got brand new seats, fully redone. All the smells are gone. It actually still smells like cigarettes, just a little bit, but no more mouse turds. I mean, he did just such a spectacular job on this. You remember how rotted everything was. We are all brand new. Everything welded into place. So I am not getting going on this right away. I'm in not a huge rush. It's kind of just a fun little project, but I will include in future videos how it looks and how it comes out. But while this thing's still gonna look like a rusty pile going down the road, unfit, unsafe, one glance underneath and you'll see, well, that's not the case. Once it's done, we got new rad support, strut tower aprons, whatever you want to call them, but one on each side, and it's all welded into the good metal, and then a one piece all the way back. So I don't know if you remember what the rear frame rails look like, but they were disintegrated to nothing. This spot will be filled with a brand new gas tank. We got some good used leaf springs he hooked me up with. And this all just makes me very happy. So if you want to see more about the process of this, tune into his video. And otherwise, we've kind of been jumping all over the place like usual, but I think I'm ready to get on vacation here. So thank you very much for tuning in, especially if you watch this far. I appreciate all the merch you guys been ordering. I see all the sales come through. My buddy Nat takes care of shipping all that out, but thank you very much for the support. And hopefully run into some of you out on the road. I think the Clapper camper with the utility bed on there, it's kind of hard to miss. So we might even pick something up when we get down there for Power Tour. See you guys in the next one. No nonsense, no how.
Non più tra i farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno d'intorno girano, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Antoncino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Antoncino d'amor. Non più avrai questi bei panacchini,